Forging Flame coming at you live from Prospect East in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Here.
I'm here with my co-host Nick Hinton.
Hey, everybody.
I shall remain nameless. But here's the studio. We wanted to show you guys the studio space and how it's evolved. Colby put up, booyah, look at that shit, man. Ooh. It sounds so much better in here, and he even has the bass trap foam running around all the corners. All of the walls are treated on the inside. Unfortunately, the ceiling isn't, so we can still hear upstairs pretty well. But it's still a huge improvement on this room. It's amazing, man. And
hold on, there's something they should see.
there's something. Oh yeah. Check out this door. He has a double door situation happening here.
This is a weird BDSM torture door.
Yeah. Boom. That's the real door. So the inside of this door is all padded up with this bass trapping foam. I don't know the specific term, but it's basically that's the real door. And then this is the false door, which helps trap in that sound. And it's basically made out of wood here. He covered it up with the moving blanket. Thank you, sir. Yeah, he covered it up there to just reduce the echoing that was happening in here. And the echoing is, I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, but in addition to having that extra room sound that you would have in a recording, making it sound like you're in an empty room, in addition to that, the high frequencies bounced around a lot, which made some of the sibilants and some of the microphones real harsh. So this is a huge improvement. It just sounds like a womb in here, like you can just nuzzle up in here.
Yeah.
And just stick around for 9 months while your surrogate mother pumps in nutrients through whatever she's eating.
Your belly pipe.
Belly pipe, yes. I think that's the technical term for it. But okay, today we just podcasted some seasoned podcasters with the guys from Drink Culture, Fabian and Jared. Yeah. And man, I feel like they just saved us a lot of time. So if you guys are watching, dude, thank you so much. It's nice to be able to find somebody that has like been through so many trials and errors of something that you're figuring out yourself. And actually, that's kind of the reason we make these vlogs, is so that somebody might be able to stumble on this and maybe they're thinking of starting their own podcast or creative pursuit, and they need to see, Nick and Ryan fuck up for a little bit, and that helps them expedite their journey.
Yeah, and plus there's the added benefit of maybe our listeners, if they're watching these vlogs and seeing how we're talking about what we're learning and how we're overcoming and how we're fucking things up, maybe they'll be a little more forgiving when we do fuck things up in like the bigger episodic content.
Yeah. Because that's going to happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's gonna happen
I definitely hit some brick walls with this one. Because what often happens in conversations is something will come up and I'm like, ooh, I got something I can contribute here, and that might like help, contribute or spin the conversation in a new direction or move on to the next, what did he call them, segments?
Yeah.
Fabian called them segments, and I had something there, but then Nick mentioned something else. He brought up a podcast he's working on with his daughter, and I wanted to kind of thread that together in a cohesive way, and my need to be completely flawless in conversation basically led me to a point where I'm just like, what the fuck was I just talking about? Is this happening right now? And it was indeed happening. But Nick saved the day because he's always quick with the words, and he knows how to fill up the dead space.
It's the art of bullshit, friends.
Art of bullshit.
When appropriately applied can be a beneficial thing. So. Absolutely. So when you hear me shift directions, I'm pulling that out of my ass in real time in most cases.
Yeah.
Peek behind the curtain.
But one of the things that Jared recommended too was to have a notebook on hand and to take notes while it's going on. And I had that thought myself, but I didn't realize how important that would be. And even Jared, being the professional that he is, had a notebook and he had notes and he showed us. So. Yeah, definitely. It was cool kind of looking at them too. Like at first I was just like, okay, well I'm definitely Fabian and he's Jared. But then after talking with them for like 20 minutes, I'm like, no, I'm definitely Jared and he's Fabian. And we kind of have our archetypes niched out, but I think I'm taking some of their roles from they have an entire team doing what we're doing. And we only got 2 people, and I'm okay with having a team, but
it's mostly just one person. There's two people in that, like, there's a second voice, but in terms of like the actual laboring, it's like 90% that.
Yeah, I'm doing the stuff in the background. I'm keeping the empire going, but at the same time, like, the content itself would not be nearly what it is if it wasn't for Nick. So there would be a lot more of those awkward silences, a lot more of those deadpan stares. Like, am I supposed to say something? Is it my third lip? Wait, this is recording. Can we edit that out? No, there's no editing. There's none. We got to roll with it. So yeah, Nick is hugely helpful, dude. I can start seeing why. This is totally off subject.
Yeah.
But I can start seeing why people would use selfie sticks, because my arm is fucking tired right now. It's hard. I got to switch arms. Hold on. Here we go. New angle.
Do you want me to hold it for a while? I can do that.
No, this is just fine. This works fine. This is totally natural. Cool. Well, is there anything else you wanted to add about this monumental episode?
I'm super grateful to those guys, Jared and Fabian specifically. I think it's worth mentioning. They were super gracious to me when I was just starting out with a previous business venture. I've probably referenced it one or two times.
Hint, it's bigchips.com.
Don't bother. It's dead. It's dead. But
go look at its corpse.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't bother. But they had me on their show in their first season of operation. I was there well before they got a Haley, which I didn't realize actually happened so quickly overall. They started expanding their team within like 6 or 7 months of starting out. And that, like, the thought of that for when I'm thinking about us right now is mind-blowing to me. But anyway, they had me on their show way back when. They gave me a bit of a platform and were always super, super kind and super supportive of everything that I was doing. And to have an ability to get down and speak with them about what they're going through with deciding to wrap up their show and officially, call it quits for all intents and purposes. That means a lot to me, and it also, I think, it shows just how cool these guys are. So that shines through a lot in our conversation, and I think people are probably going to really enjoy and probably benefit from listening to it. So, probably should check it out.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because if you are thinking about, first of all, if you're thinking about doing a podcast, definitely fucking listen to this one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one to, like, push my shit on people. Like, I like the artist kind of thing where you're just kind of releasing it and let it, like, kind of be what it is, and people find it if they do. And
it's a message in a bottle.
Yeah, message in a bottle.
Right.
On an empty boat. Shout out Jessica Heckle, who just I don't know if it actually officially dropped.
Oh.
Anyway, like, I think she missed her deadline.
Pushed it up.
Yeah, like,
I
feel her there.
Have you been seeing the amount of work she's been doing
insane,
on Instagram?
Dude.
She's hand assembling with a small amount of people helping, right? Hand assembling. What, 100? No, more.
I don't know. I don't want to think about it. It stresses me out to even think about the shit that she has to do right now. It's
not a CD. It's not a record.
It's a message in a bottle.
It is a message in a bottle. So.
But anyway, tangent there.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you're thinking about starting a podcast, check that episode out for sure. It's episode 7 with Fabian Rodriguez and Jared
Byczko.
Byczko?
Byczko.
Yes.
Drink culture.
Yeah, definitely check that one out if you're thinking of starting a podcast. But if you're thinking about starting anything, really, like any kind of significant pursuit that's going to require a lot of investment, that's going to require a lot of energy and time and money.
Working with a partner, working with an equal partner, and building a team, and having hard conversations, and
all of that.
Yeah.
All of that.
So
and by the way,
juicy meat.
Yeah, and by the way, they have a remarkable podcast too. I didn't even get to, like, compliment them on the product that they've created, but when I listen to it, I have an ear for sound quality, and they fucking nailed that. Their sound quality is great, and I really love how they incorporate music into what they're doing, and that's something that I'd like to figure out myself. But their product is great. Their brand is amazing as well. So I'm also a graphic designer, so I have a kind of an eye for those kind of brands. And we were looking through their website, and I'm like, man, this shit is just clean. This is so is so well put together. They paid really close attention. Whoever designed it paid close attention to white space and the boldness of the letters, having a lot of impact. Just the overall spacing just was real easy to look at. Just very well put together website, and well put together brand overall. It definitely has a vibe to it, and the show definitely communicates that vibe, or sub-communicates it, however you want to look at it. But yeah, those guys are awesome. They made an awesome thing. It sucks that they're hanging it up, but I can kind of see why. You know, I've been in bands before where you're just like, all right, it's time to move on. We got to do other stuff now. So I get it, and I wish them the best of luck in their next ventures, which you can hear all about that on the podcast. Episode 7 due to come out
hopefully
next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I just had an aneurysm.
What's that, like the 21st, 20th, 21st, something? You know,
Tuesday's
the week,
the 21st.
The week of the 21st. How about that?
Yeah, next week, the 21st. And on Tuesday, we are going to do a podcast with an artist named Joey Edwards. And this dude is, what did he use on his website? Spooky and Kooky.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
that was like dead on, because me and Nick were looking through his Instagram and looking through all of his stuff. He does a lot of these wire sculptures. He also does some painting, but he definitely has a vibe about him.
Yeah.
And like Nick tried to break it down, and he what did you say? Playing in shadows.
He's just frolicking through the shadows. He's playing in some pretty creepy spaces, and but in such a, I mean, when I say playing, like, that's what I mean. I choose that word very deliberately because it is so playful, and looking at it a lot of ways, it just reminded me of being a kid and going out of my way to creep myself out and reading spooky stories and spooky stories with spooky illustrations and his wire art. That's the thing. It looks to me like scribbled black ink art that I've seen in some really creepy books.
Short story.
Yeah, Clive Barker. That's the one. So there's a book called The Thief of Always by Clive Barker. Something my grandmother probably should not have given me at like 6 or 7 years old, but just the same, a horrifying tale. And the copy that I had a couple of sketched out images in between chapters of some of the creatures that were referenced. And his wire art just makes me think back to reading that book for the first time and seeing some of those just fucked up illustrations that just invoke, like, just with their style, invoke some level of like disgust and revulsion. Which is a fun thing to feel when you're observing art, you know? A little revulsion goes a long way.
And if that's not enough, he's also a magnificent pumpkin carver. Like, what the fuck, dude? We were looking at some of that shit. It's insane.
Absurd.
So I got a lot of questions for him, how he do that.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
That's Joey Edwards. So we're recording that next Tuesday when we should be dropping the podcast we were just talking about with the seasoned podcaster. So real quick before we head out, I did want to show do a tour of the production here. So first of all, our main camera we got right here. That's just kind of pointed down on where we were sitting. And we have Nick's laptop here. That is running the video chat itself, and we were running an audio out of that into my interface here, which, as normal, we're running a Focusrite Claret. So it's super confusing because my microphone, I got a Bluebird microphone that's plugged into the Focusrite, but Nick Hinton's Yeti microphone, let me get that in frame. Yep, boom. That one's running in via USB. So that's like, it's created a little weird kind of thing. I need to get a new microphone and
upgrades. These are the drums that I was playing the whole time.
Oh yeah, these drums. Yep, we got the drums in the background.
I had a sweet solo. It was amazing. Check it out.
It was amazing, but yeah, that worked really well. Everything's running into my laptop here, and yeah, so we recorded the audio that way. We recorded the video separately. We're going to sync that up, and that's pretty much it. From this point, we just need to record the intro of the podcast where we're like, yeah, this is what we're doing.
Welcome
to
Forging Play.
I swear, we don't try to sound like super sexy in there. We're just really trying not to fuck up our words.
I kind of do.
Okay, well, he does. Fun. I'm just over here trying not to fuck up. So yeah, That's it for now. Bye, 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 guys.
See ya.
Bye.